All right, so recording. Oh, I can start the video today. Okay, so there's a few changes this week because I realized that the way I split it up, because module 6 is just massive, because there's just so much when it comes to Windows forensics. I actually had planned to split it up between this week and next week. And the way that I split that up would make a very, very minuscule test for you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine this week and next week. So you don't have a test for this week. And if you look out there, it says no test this week in big red letters. So your test next week will be 3 modules, because normally it would be 2. So it'll be 3 modules, not 4. It won't be as big. And it'll be a little bit bigger, but not huge. But I figure that way it'll be a little bit less disjointed than trying to figure out, now, which part of this did we cover during this week for that? Did we do? It was starting to hurt my brain a little, so I figured it probably wouldn't help you guys if I had to chunk it out like that either. So you'll have your test. It'll be a combined week 3 and 4 test, and it will be due next week. And I've decided that we are going to do Forensic Fridays for forensic tools, and that's what we're going to do starting today. So because I split out that section and we already covered so much, that is what we're going to do today. And then we're going to re-enter into Windows Forensics on Monday. So today, let me share my screen here. We are going to, let me show you, it's week 4. So as you can see, week 4, we have the week 4 test, which you'll see on there. But if you look, we have Windows 6 Forensics continued. So, all right. On the Forensics Friday, since I want to walk through them, I'm going to make them due on Monday, so that we can walk through them and have fun with them on Friday together. Hopefully have fun with them. Hopefully nothing blows up. And then you'll have a little bit of extra time. These are just fun forensic tool ones for you to play with outside of your regular CyberQ modules. So today what we're going to be working with is a tool called Ventoy. Now, Ventoy is a solution that you can use to create bootable USB drives. Now, I have a little USB drive. Now, mine is very small. So what these do is they take ISOs. And if you're like me and you have a small one, I actually added, and if you go to course documents, we have that additional resources out there. Forensic tools, and I wrote the path to this on there. You'll see a little section that's now listed for small footprint Linux distributions. If you look how small these are, this one's 538 megabytes. This one's 1.1 gig. And make sure it's the ISO files that you're going to want. And this one's 2.8 gig. So these are very, very small files. Yeah, you can. That's why I liked Ventoy. Ventoy is something that you can use they're in your regular everyday tech life. You can use it for all sorts of things. So like Zach said, there's a little, if you create a folder, it's called ISO, so you don't just dump everything that says ISO into your root folder. It's a little bit easier. I'll show you that here. The only thing I did in preparation for this was I downloaded this top one here. That's the Windows zip, because I'm using a Windows system. Those of you using Linux, that Linux tar right there, that's the one that you want to use. So let me stop share. And I will start up the tool here. Let me share that. So this is what it looks like. and I'm going to pop in my little thumb drive. No, stop. Oh, I forgot. You have to, with Ventoy, you have to pop that in first. Otherwise, it's like, I don't know what you're doing. So Ventoy has a how to do this documents page, which is linked on your how to section for your assignment. So what you want to do is you want to run that thing in red right there, the Ventoy 2 disk exe, after you unpack your zip file. There we go. And there, mine's actually showing the, and it is designed to pick up your thumb drives first. You can technically use this on internal drives if you really want to. It's not recommended, but you can do that. I'm just drinking tea while I'm doing this so that my voice doesn't crackle. With, of course, my Star Wars mugs. Because everyone knows I like Star Wars, so I get all sorts of Star Wars stuff. Okay, so there's my E drive. Now, it wants us to, you do an installation when you open this. Let me switch back so you can see this screen. Minimize that so it's not as, okay. So it shows you here what you need to do. You can do an X32 or a 64, and then it gives you Tales of the Empire. No, I have not. Off topic. Well, it is Star Wars. And I'm going to keep yelling at you, Jeff. You keep forgetting when you put iframe, you keep forgetting your ending tag. So technically you have tons of open iframes from all that. Anyway, so let's see. It shows that you have your here, you have it ready, and you can do an installation, and then let's see what it does here. And the reason I left it like this is that way if it fails, we can see what happens. And it will pop up, the device will be formatted. All data will be lost. Yes. Yes, because it says, are you sure? Are you sure that you want that to happen? And then, as you can see, it chugs along. It does an installation. And then there you go. It says, look at that. Now, and just like the after installation on the page, you can see that it is installed and ready to go. Now, what you need to do next, I'll show this back here. For the Windows command line, you can do this here. Let me open it here. This one is just command line format on the different parameters that you can use. And you can create these files. Now, Zach, could you use this one on Linux or Linux and Windows?
Yeah, I've used it on Linux. I think I've used it also on Windows. And the nice thing about Ventoy is it also can boot Windows installers. So that's nice.
Yeah, it can do pretty
anything.
If it's an ISO, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's an ISO file, it'll do it. Which is really awesome. So We have the thingy. Let me go open my stop share here, and then you can see my oh, that's the wrong window. But okay, so you can see I now have a renamed E drive that says Ventoy. And after you install that USB or local disk, it does say you can do that. And I do love how they say in there, it lists only the USB drives by default. So basically, yeah, Rufus is another tool that's very similar. I've used Rufus, but I really like the way that Ventoy does some of their stuff here. So let's see, that's the window, the Linux GUI mode. So after you do your installation, it'll be divided into 2 partitions. And you just need to copy your ISO files into there. And you can dump the files in, or you can do what Zach suggested, and I suggest you do this too. Can't tell, I was used to typing ISU from stuff. Let's see which one I have for this one. Type ISO, and it'll take a second here. And I pulled in, this is, I think, Puppy Linux, which is 500 something. I went to there for about 3 years at ISU, and I worked in the computer department, and they're a good university, but at the time they didn't have as much of what I wanted. And I discovered very quickly that, because I was going for ISU, not ASU. ASU, possibly. I don't know anything about ASU. No, Idaho State University, which is what I accidentally typed. I was in for sociology. And I realized I would have to have a PhD before I could even do anything. Okay, so there's one. And let me pick the next smallest. That's Arch. Sounds like someone's having a problem with their Arizona's the party college. Okay. I could see that. I've met some people that have come from some of the areas down there, and I could see that. I would die. I do, yeah, I do not do well with heat. I have a medical condition that extreme heat causes me to feel just terrible. So not my favorite thing in the whole world. Well, I know ISU has the big thing that was the big pullover at ISU is the pharmacy program. Because it pulls in international students because it's very well accredited. And we get students from that was one of the cool things when I worked there is I loved talking to all the international students. We got a lot of students from Japan because Pocatello has a sister city in Japan. And we had quite a few from Thailand and quite a few from India. So the international festival nights where they had all the food, and oh, I love those. They were fantastic. I cannot say enough good about that. And I loved the Japanese culture. Well, I love the Japanese culture in general. That was always getting fun for me. But I had an excellent Japanese instructor over there who actually was Japanese. So we got to learn a lot about the culture with the language too. So it was very cool. Okay, so I've got 2 ISOs in here now. You want sushi now? Sorry. I will say We have okay sushi. We used to have really terrible sushi options over here, but we at least have some now. Let me stop sharing. Okay, and then oh, there is one thing to know that did you guys catch that? Let me run. Let me go back to that. Forensics tools. I'm just going to run Ventoy and open that screen for you really quickly. Okay. Did you guys catch the update section that it showed? Okay, you see how once you have it installed, you see where it says update? So if you have a new, if there's a new version out there, if you hit that update, I'm not going to do that right now, but I will check it. Then it will update to the newest version that's out there available. I just went out and downloaded the newest version, so we should be okay without that. Okay, now.
Okay, so quick question. What did you, or was that the final picture that you wanted was of?
No, I haven't done the menu yet. I was downloading the ISOs. If
Sorry.
you see the well, that's the Linux one. Where's the, we'll have to go into the command in order to create the we'll have to do an elevated command prompt in order to create the menu. Stop. What you're doing here is you're creating the boot menu for it. So in order to do that, just looking here, it's been a while since I've used the, might help if I actually share the command screen with you guys. There we go. It's been a while since I've done this, so. Basically, what you want to do is create the boot menu. I'm gonna hold on 1 second. I'm gonna spit out the. I gotta hit the eject thing and see. So I can't remember if the new version automatically creates that for you. No. Like I said, it's been a little while since I've used this. So. Please. And that's a super unhelpful command line thing. Hold on. See, and this is why we do it live, so that we can all learn together. What things we might need to do. And what we want to do is what's called a multi-boot USB flash drive. And unfortunately, in order for me to boot from this, I would have to throw you guys off. I think all you have to do, I'm trying to see if there's a way you guys can. Check. I think Zach, when you last did this, because the last time I did it, I thought all we had to do was use the tool, throw the ISOs in, and boot off of it. And I think that's all you have to do, but. Okay, yes, I was right. All right. For some reason, I thought you had to do the Windows thing. So all you have to do is create your ISO folder, dump your ISO files in there, and then it will create your boot from that. So it'll be a little bit difficult to see that boot screen and get an actual print screen of that. So do me a favor and print screen the let me show you what I'm after. This that has it says where it says Ventoy, and your ISOs show me that you've got more than one ISO in here, and it says the eVentoy, and then you should be good from there, because as long as you actually went through there and put your ISO files in, it should automatically do that. But as a second step, do double check and make sure that you can boot from this. It should, unless you need to change a setting in your BIOS, it should automatically boot up and say, here's your list of ISOs that you can boot from. Yeah, you can screen cap if you want. But yeah, this is what we need right here. I'll change that. In fact, I'll take a little snip of this. There we go. So that shows it. Okay, so basically I need to see at least 2 ISOs. And as you saw, there's some very small ones. So if you have a small thumb drive, you can use that. If you're going to be booting it off of like a VM or something, and you can manage to show the boot screen, good for you, screen cap it. If this is all you can show me that, and make sure that I at least can see that. Oh no. Yeah, see, this is why I bought for some reason, my parents have asked me multiple times for stuff on thumb drives. So I just bought a multi-pack of 4 gig thumb drives. So it doesn't matter if I lose them. Yeah, and you can screen record. I just need something showing that you did it. So walk through and use Ventoy. I can guarantee, you can say I've said Ventoy too many times already. I can guarantee that this tool is something that you can use, because I have constantly had problems with, I have all these great ISOs and they're bootable ISOs, but now I have to have them on and carry around like 5 different thumb drives. Well, with this, you don't have to do that. There are other tools besides Ventoy, like Rufus and some other things like that. But, you know, save yourself some time. Make yourself a bootable hard drive, thumb drive with your ISOs on it. That way, when you're using your tools, you have more than one tool out there on one drive, because having to carry around 30 of them is kind of ridiculous, you know, for us. And I can guarantee things like this, bootable thumb drives, will be used in your future if you're going to be in security at some point in time.
Quick question.
Yes.
So, probably not Nick, but I'm sure everyone else in the class is an adult and they actually remember back when, thumb drives didn't used to be like 4 gigs, or if they were you were paying like $60 for a 4 gig thumb drive versus now and it's like 12,
They're
if
significantly
that.
less than that. Yeah. Ha ha. Okay, for those of you, if you want to make some of us feel old, did you get to see the zip drives?
No, but I do remember playing with the floppy disks that and what was the game? It was like you were a worm that somehow had arms and legs, and it was like a soldier, and you ran around shooting things. And I can't remember what it was, but it was on a floppy disk that went in
I
my
don't
mom's
remember that
computer.
one. Well, the very first computer I used in school was an Apple IIe, if that tells you how long I've been in school. And
Ew, you used an Apple?
yeah, it was unfortunate, but yes, they had Apple IIes, and Oregon Trail was the huge game at the time. Yeah, school funding. Yeah.
Yeah, Oregon
Earthworm
Trail. I remember
Jim.
that.
Gwen for the
There
win.
you go.
There it
Thank
is.
you.
I was like, I know I've seen it, but I cannot for the life of me remember it. Yeah, uh that was before 3.1. And yeah. Okay, so do we have, I know that there's some people out there still looking for these. Do we have any questions on this tool? It seems pretty easy for you guys. Do you guys think you can be okay to use this? Okay. Yeah, it is fairly easy. It is a nice one, and I suggest where a lot of the forensic tools, you'll need like random bootable ISOs. And since we all like Kali, you can always throw Kali on there, Parrot, something like that. It's a really great idea. So if you want to punish yourself, you can put Kane on there. I'm just kidding. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff out there. So, okay, so I'm going to stop the recording here, and I will talk to you about some stuff for next week.